Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski and we are here with the Travel Show. Now, if you've seen us before, you know that every month we bring you some places you just want to go. And you don't know which one to pick because they all sound so great. And Kathy Janes, our friend from Class Act Travel, is here today.
Hi
Thank
there.
you for always coming in and
problem.
telling us about great opportunities.
And new places
And new
and
places to
things
go.
to do and whatnot.
Good
Absolutely, yes.
And you may remember Katie Canzonero, if I said that right, I hope I did, because she comes to us from Royal Caribbean International. And she's been here before, and we love having Katie here because she's got great ideas. And she's going to give us some important travel information that has been changing over the past few weeks for you to kind of be current on. So thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. I
Katie.
love to talk cruising.
Yeah, we love to hear about it and do it. So first of all, Katie, let's just start with, gosh, I don't know which way to start. Let's start with the cruise line and
Yes.
and what kinds of fun things could we be doing?
Yes, so it's very exciting that after a long couple years of COVID, that the cruise industry is back. We at Royal Caribbean, we have 26 ships in our fleet. They're all sailing now.
Oh, wow.
Sailing successfully
Yay.
around the world in the summer season. We have ships in Europe, and Alaska's been extremely popular this year, as well as next summer. Lots of families and guests want to go and see Alaska, and a cruise is a great way to do that. And then we also have lots of ships sailing the Caribbean, so we're very excited. We've sailed almost 2 million guests since last July, so in a year.
Wow.
Since the cruise industry has come back after COVID.
Oh,
So
that's
very exciting.
Fantastic. What should the people who want to take vacations, the vacationers, what should they expect now with the cruise lines? It's particularly, I mean, you can talk about Royal Caribbean, of course,
Yes.
but in general, what's happening with the
Right.
COVID?
So the cruise industry has been very regulated by the CDC. I think it's probably one of the only vacation things that was so heavily regulated. So now the CDC has relaxed some of those regulations. So throughout the last year, guests had to be vaccinated on Royal, all cruise lines 12 and older, and come with a negative test. So we're slowly starting to see, as the general population moves away from some of the COVID restrictions, that the cruise industry is moving away from that. So starting September 5th, we have lots of guests out there that might not have been able to be vaccinated because of health reasons or religious beliefs, or just didn't want to and weren't able to sail. And now we're happy to say they are able to sail with us. We will still sail highly vaccinated, because the cruise across all cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, will continue to be vaccinated. And a majority of our guests that have been sailing are vaccinated. So what is the US? Maybe about 60%
Yeah.
vaccinated. So you're still going to have highly vaccinated ships. But starting September 5th, out of Galveston, New Orleans, and Los Angeles on Royal Caribbean, guests can sail not vaccinated. So it's very exciting. We're still working on the testing and what that would be like, if you would need to come with a negative test and so on. And then for the Florida cruises, really it depends upon the destination that the ships are going to. That's really what's kind of driving it. So even though the US is relaxing some mandates and so on, and the cruise industry, maybe some of the countries we visit aren't yet. So that's why there's still some mandates are not known yet for the fall for cruises out of Florida.
Okay.
But soon to come, hopefully in a week or two, we'll have some protocols for those sailings as well.
So what you're saying is, even though the cruise line might not require a negative test or vaccine, your destination requires
Yes.
it. So you
Yes.
need to know that,
Yes.
which is what Kathy would be able to tell
Yes,
you.
so
And
you're,
it's kind of on flights too. If you have a connecting
Yes.
flight, you have to determine what does that connecting point need or want for you to come in there, and then where does your destination want. So kind of the same idea. And I realized that, yeah, we're pretty good here. We don't have to get tested to come back here, but it's these other ones that you've got to follow their rules and regulations, or you're not going to get in.
Yeah,
They'll
okay.
stop you. I mean, I'm sorry, with the cruises, with the air,
Yes.
whatever, they're going to stop you.
But there is changes that are simplifying travel.
Yes.
Oh.
yes.
a bit.
And travel is back,
100%.
as you know.
Yes.
I mean, it is just the airports are busy, the
Yeah.
tourist destinations are busy. It's great. It's great to see all of this.
It really is. Yeah. So with Royal Caribbean, they are, so someone signs up for a cruise with Royal Caribbean or whatever, then the company will tell you, or Kathy,
Yes.
what you need. Oh, you're going to this island, you're going to need this or
Yes.
that. But our cruise ship does not require you to do that.
Yes. Yes.
So if you just stay on the ship and never get off,
Well, I
you're-
would just
you're
Right,
fine.
that was the other- that was the other thing I was
so
just
it's
gonna
so
say. Yes,
interesting.
yeah.
So some of those sailings where we're no longer requiring vaccines do call on the Cayman Islands. So the Cayman Islands is still, and has been very strict throughout COVID, is saying that guests simply can't. Our ship can sail there, but guests who are not vaccinated cannot get off there, which is fine. I mean, I love to be on the ship when everyone's in port because everything's open and there's so many fun
whole
things to
ship,
do,
yeah.
and you have the whole ship to yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes some of the countries are saying the ship can't even come there. So we are working diligently with the Caribbean governments and so on to see about what we can do to safely take vaccinated and non-vaccinated guests to these destinations.
Right. I mean, that's so important. And things have simmered down and things are,
Yes.
changing. And also, I think it's a relaxing of our own mind.
Yes.
We were so inundated with rules and regulations and do this and do that now it's kind of like, okay, I don't have to do that now.
Right.
You're exactly right. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I don't have to do this. I don't have to get a test.
Quick, book
Right.
me. Send me away.
exactly.
Yeah.
exactly. Mexico has always been one of our easiest
Mm-hmm.
to get into. There's never been any real issues getting into Mexico. It's always been very popular because of that reason.
Just another less thing to worry about.
Yes.
It is.
And
It
it's
is.
so important, I think, now to use a travel partner for all travel because the travel partner will keep track of all those regulations. They're changing hourly.
Yeah.
They really are,
Yeah.
which is good. They're changing in the right direction. We had
Yes.
2 years of
Yeah.
them changing in the wrong direction.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
And we're so
But
grateful
now-
for that.
Yes, even Europe, which there's not a lot of season, the European season for cruises ends around October, and a lot of those ships then come back to Florida. But even Europe has really, we're not going to require vaccinations for the September sailing. So anybody that wants a last minute getaway, we have 8 ships sailing Europe.
Wow.
And all the different destinations. So that's exciting too, unless the countries, there's still some countries, like
Oh,
you said, that are going to be requiring. So,
yeah.
But as a whole, our European cruises, as of September 5th, you will not have to be vaccinated.
Well, our population in the U.S. at least, I mean, we're highly vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's more than half. It's either 60% or 70%. It's
something
pretty
in
high.
there, yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you could be one of those people who have been vaccinated and think, oh, great, I'll take a last minute cruise, and I won't have to worry as much
Right,
about that.
right.
Yes.
And
Because I
that's-
think the
Exactly.
testing
That's it.
still bothered some as well. So that's another thing. Anybody going on a 6 and under night cruise that is vaccinated doesn't have to test anymore. And I know the testing kind of hesitated. It hesitated me. I have 3 children, and I'm like, oh, what if we plan this wonderful cruise?
Yeah.
And
And you
2 days
can't.
prior, we're at Jewel getting our tests, and someone tests positive.
Yeah, then-
it is
It's a
just a little
scary-
bit of a
yeah,
stress, and
it
that
is.
is very nice that has gone away for 6 nights and under right now. No testing required if you're vaccinated. So not sure when we'll lift that testing restriction for the 7 night and longer, but hopefully before the holidays.
But
and
it's
so on.
happening, and that's
And
the really
you can
good
see
news.
the changes
We're
coming.
moving in the right
positive
direction.
changes. Yeah, not going backwards anymore. We're finally
Yes.
going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's been a lot of backwards.
Especially with cruising. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's been very difficult for the. I can't even believe the cruise industry survived
Yes.
at all. I mean,
Yes.
really, because it was very terrible.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we know that, if we wanted to take that last minute trip to Europe, what kinds of cruises would our people be able to go on?
Oh, there's so many wonderful cruises in Europe. I think it's great because you have to only unpack once and you get to visit all these exciting destinations
Yeah.
and not have to worry about things. Really popular is the going out of Italy and going out of Rome and so on and going down to the Greek islands. We have 2 or 3 ships doing that. A larger ship, the Odyssey of the Seas, which is a new ship that is doing that itinerary. And then we have 2 smaller ships doing that are able to get into some of those Greek islands. So that this year I think has been the most popular. Personally, which I have not done yet, but I'm very excited to do, is I want to do kind of the Northern Europe, the Baltic and so on. We do have some ships that are
Yeah.
going to Ireland and
Yeah.
so on. They go out of England. As of now, those ships used to call on St. Petersburg. We are not calling on St. Petersburg at this point. But I think that's a really neat destination to kind of go around by cruise ship and visit all of those, the Northern Europe.
When you're on these ships, are you flying to Italy or you're flying
Yes,
to Ireland
yes,
or wherever
yes.
and getting that
Yes,
connection there?
yes.
Okay.
Or there are lots of people that, I mean, that's still available too. All those ships, all 8 of those ships will come back to the U.S. And a lot of guests love those transatlantic cruises.
The
They're-
repositioning
Yeah, the
cruising.
repositioning. They're
Yeah.
very economical. They're very good deals. And it's kind of people who love them then book them all the time. You have 4 or 5 days at sea. And you really get to know the crew and so on, and so they'll fly over to Europe and they'll get on in Rome or wherever the ship's coming back from, and then they'll end up in Fort Lauderdale or
Miami or something, yes.
or Port Canaveral. So people love those. Same on the West Coast. So those ships are getting ready, maybe at mid-October, to leave Alaska, and they do a 14-day to Hawaii. And then they do a 13 or 14 day from Hawaii down into Australia and New Zealand, which is exciting because that season has not been able to sail in 2 years. So it is exciting that we're going back to Australia this winter. So some people go and do the whole 28 days.
Wow.
A Trans-Pacific.
Wow.
That is a long time.
And what a beautiful area of the country
Oh, sure.
to see. The North Atlantic,
Yeah.
I don't know if, I mean, you're there to enjoy the ship. But I think that
Holy
South
cow.
Pacific, that's really a beautiful sea.
Well, it's a
That's
nice
a long
opportunity.
time.
It is a long time,
Long time.
but you're talking about economical. You can take this long cruise for a long period of time.
Oh, and
it's-
sometimes it's even cheaper than going on a 7-night Caribbean. And
Well,
people really
they're
enjoy
bringing
it.
the ship here anyway. They're
Right.
bringing it back, so you might as well have people on
The
board.
ship
that have-
never
Love
sails
that.
empty.
Yeah,
No,
it has to
no,
have people.
that
To,
doesn't make
it makes
sense.
sense.
Yes.
Might
Sure.
be better to give people a bargain than
Oh,
have
yeah.
it sail empty. Okay, so that's going to Europe, which that is seasonal. So you need
Yes.
to get that in now if you're going to do it, or
Yes.
wait till the
Next
spring.
summer.
Yeah.
So both Europe and Alaska are like a May to October season.
Okay, so then what other kind of trips can people take? I want to just tantalize people. Like,
Oh, there's
what
so
would
many
be good
great
to
deals
do?
too. So we're moving a lot of ships actually into Galveston. And we built a new pier there, and we're going to take an Oasis class, which is, you remember, we've talked about that class on this show before. Those are the largest cruise ships at sea. They hold about 6,000 passengers, but they're set up with 7 neighborhoods, so you never realize that you're on the ship with 6,000 passengers. So the Allure of the Seas will this October be going out of Galveston, which is, for us here in the Midwest, sometimes
That's
you get
perfect.
some really good air. Southwest goes into Hobby, which is southern Houston, so you're about 45 minutes down to the pier. We have 3 or 4 ships this winter, so there's some really good deals out of Texas for the winter that guests can enjoy. And then the Wonder of the Seas is our newest of those Oasis class, and that is going to be going out of Port Canaveral, which is Orlando, which is also, not everybody always wants to go down to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Orlando, again, 45 minutes over to the pier. So anybody that wants to visit the theme parks, go to Disney, go to Universal, then go get on a cruise. We're really excited to have the Wonder of the Seas there. It's a beautiful, beautiful ship. That's in Europe now.
I was
and
just going to
coming
ask
back
you, is
over.
that sailing yet?
Yeah,
It is sailing.
It's been sailing Europe for the summer.
Okay.
Okay, so that's nice because having these different ports to go to, what's closer, what's more economical to get there, and so on, that makes it really important. You know, I just love these names, Wonder of the Seas,
I
I
know.
said. I mean, these are great names.
So our
for
next ship's
ships.
being built, coming out next year, is the Icon of the Seas.
Oh, that's a
So
good
that's
name, too.
in October. We're going to start releasing kind of what amazing things will be. That'll be a whole new class, and then the 6th of the Oasis class is the Utopia of the Seas.
Oh,
which-
wow.
That should be interesting. I'm not sure about that name, but that will
That's
be in
interesting.
2025, which is just
okay.
crazy.
I don't
No,
know.
2024. I'm sorry. Icon's 2023. And also, though, for those that don't want to fly, I always like to point this out. We do have ships year-round in New York and Baltimore. And I'm from Maryland. I was just home with my parents. It took me 10 hours to get back on Sunday. So you can just easily, because there are a lot of people that don't want to fly, or flying might right now not be the, it's not,
they wanna do.
they're not the deals that you used
Yeah.
to have on flying. And so you can easily drive, and they're year-round. So it's a little cold going out of New York that first day, but it's still a in the winter, and out of Baltimore in the winter. But it's still just very easy to drive to, park. You don't have to worry about flights and delays, and you're on the ship and having a great time.
You know, I'm a little surprised you drove from Maryland here in 10 hours.
Yes.
Well, look
With
at
a
that.
kitten in the car. We brought a kitten back. and two of my three children. And I live in LaGrange. Yeah, it took us 10 hours.
Wow,
Sunday
that's
morning.
not too bad.
It's
So if you
all
did wanna
turnpike. It's
drive,
very
I mean,
easy
that's
to
so great.
Baltimore. And New York, where the pier is actually in New Jersey and Bayonne, so it's very easy. But you still get the beautiful sail away by the Statue of Liberty and Frank Sinatra singing New York, New York.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
a nice
Yeah.
cruise to
That's
do.
like an iconic moment to do. Okay, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So people should not be afraid to get on a cruise ship again,
Right.
at all.
Right.
And people they're filling up.
Yes, yes. We've had a very successful summer.
That's great. Okay, so we can go to Galveston and New York and New Jersey and down to Florida and Orlando. I like the fact that you can go to Orlando or Galveston and not that Fort Lauderdale is that much further, but it is kind of a nice destination to get there instead. I didn't realize that you could do that. Yeah.
And for us, Houston Air, sometimes when you're starting to look at Miami Air or Fort Lauderdale Air prices, sometimes just make sure you look at Galveston and see.
See, I want to talk a little bit about the size of the cruise ships. We took a couple cruises on those larger ships, and I think it was Navigator of the Sea, and I can't remember the other one, but they were 5,000 people on there, and you're like, holy smokes. 5,000 people are on the
It's a small
ship with
city.
me. It is, and that number seems insurmountable, but actually, you're right. It's so big, it doesn't seem like 5,000.
No, it doesn't.
It's never like crowded where you feel like I can't do this fun thing, or I can't get in to see the show, or
I can't
be
do
in the
this or that,
casino.
right?
You know,
Yeah.
you can do all of those things because there's so many activities on that ship.
I think that's what makes it. There's so many different things to do. So a cruise is just something for everyone. Someone's playing bingo, someone's in the casino, someone's at the show, someone's rock climbing. So it really does offer something for everyone. So it's
does.
a good family vacation or multi-generational vacation where everybody can kind of do their own thing, but come together for dinner at night, not have to do the dishes and so on.
Yeah, just go get your meal. Or you can have a quiet time. You don't have to be busy doing those things. You can sit out on the deck and look out in the water, and
Yes.
it's very peaceful.
Yes.
What would you say that people are looking to do the most when they're looking at a cruise ship? I mean, are they looking to get that exotic vacation? Are they going to the warmer climates? Or is it just kind of all over the board?
It is all over the board, but I do think here we have very cold winters, and I think that a lot of people say, I just need that January, February, take me to somewhere warm. A cruise is a good option. I do think also like foodies and entertainment. I think you forget that about a cruise. We have full Broadway shows on many of our ships. All of that's complimentary. And then the dining. I think the dining and food and cruises go hand in hand. From the buffets to the specialty restaurants too. I just love the main dining room, and that's included, in your cost of your cruise. And the main dining room is just, I love that the waiter gets to know you and brings the right wine I like and brings my kids extra French fries. Like, that's all cruising to me. So I think you have a lot of people that look for the entertainment and the food, and that's why they would prefer to go on a cruise versus another vacation.
And the pampering.
And the pampering and the service.
And the pampering,
Our crew is
correct.
amazing.
You have spas. where
We have spas.
Yeah, you have exercise facilities, pools. I mean, there's everything
And the
you can think of.
casino. Honestly, the first people to come back when our ship started sailing were our casino guests.
Oh, yeah, they really
They
Did
just
they?
love
that.
it. They
Yeah.
love it. They love sailing in the casino.
I think the cruise ship is a great thing too, as you've said, for kids and older adults, because you get there, you unpack, you're done. You don't have to haul the suitcases to the next place, especially with children or older people.
Right.
You don't want to be moving all this stuff. You're just there and you've just got your room, you've got privacy,
Yes.
and you're not constantly trying to move to the next location.
Right. Right.
That is a really great thing.
And for older travelers, because I do get this question a lot, and Kathy, you probably do too when you're booking people, like, oh, I love Royal Caribbean, but I don't want to be around all those kids and so on. But, we're really also tied to the school schedule. So if you have guests that
Exactly.
want to see our Broadway shows and want to enjoy us, but don't want 1,000 children on, they're
Yeah.
vacationing now without their children or grandchildren,
Right.
sail in September, October, sail in April and May. Those are the months that we don't have all the children on board. So you can really enjoy our ships and everything Royal Caribbean has without having I have 3 kids, but sometimes I like to not have 1,000 kids around me too. You know?
It's true. It's true. Especially like even if for a couple who wants to get away, who have children.
Right.
You know, even if they're a little bit older, you just really want some space and
Yes,
quiet time. You
yes.
don't want to look at somebody else's crying baby.
Yes, exactly.
So they can have the opportunity to
yes.
do that as well. And yet, there's a lot of activities that are planned for kids on a cruise ship.
There are. So I met with a travel partner yesterday, and she said she never sees her kids. She picks them up out of the kids club at 11:45. They don't even want to go then, and they're little. And she's like, a cruise is just amazing.
But you have that great island too.
Yes, and we have Perfect Day at Coco Cay, our private island. One
Yeah.
of them. We also have one in Haiti, Labadee, but it's amazing. So a lot of our Florida cruises call on Perfect Day, which is just everyone's
It's
perfect
perfect.
day. You
Yeah,
can chill,
well-
or you can thrill and go down the water slides and up in the hot air balloon, or you can sit at the swim up bar, which is what I do. And I let my kids go do the
Go
thrills.
play.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, that just
Because that
sounds
is an
fun.
adult-only area on that island too, if I understand that
Well,
right.
there we are building an adults only area that you can go in all day and be adults only. Usually at the swim up bar, there's not a lot of
Kids,
children,
right.
but we are building an adults
Oh,
only area, which
oh,
will be
that's cool.
nice. And
Yeah.
I think that'll probably be in the next. By spring of next year, maybe next time I'll come back and talk just about the island and what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
putting in there.
Oh, that would be
We're also
lovely.
building a beach club in Nassau, so that guests can get off of our ships and go and enjoy this amazing, beautiful beach day. You know, without
that's
having
cool.
to take a taxi to the public beach and so on. It's going to be right there where the ships pull in.
Oh,
which
that's
is
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We
is.
have-
And actually, because of COVID, people around the country have been traveling around the country. So sometimes getting a booking at that warm spots during the time you want to go in January, February, March is hard to do
Yes.
because everybody's
Yes.
like, "Get me out of here." And
That's
so
what it is now,
the
too.
opportunity
Yeah.
to go on a cruise kind of opens up a whole new
Yes,
area for
yes,
people to
yeah.
go,
We have lots of options for the winter to warm destinations.
which is
And it's about time that they loosened the restrictions on it. It really is. It's about time they did that.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
you know, I guess they want to be cautious, and we do understand that. And we've all come to the realization that we're going to have this around. And I think people have learned to deal with that, and they accepted it, and that's what we have.
That's what it's going to be. It's never going to go away.
Right.
It's here to stay, and we just have to learn to live with it and keep living our lives. I mean,
Right.
we just can't stop.
Right.
No,
We
and,
have to keep going.
and thereby the uptick in travel because people are like, okay,
Yes. Yes.
we got to
Yes.
live, and
Yes.
this is part of it. We want to have some fun.
Yeah.
And we do have medical facilities on all of our ships, doctors and nurses, and never are you going to find a cleaner place. I mean, you don't really walk around hotels and see people cleaning the elevator buttons, cleaning the railings,
No.
and our ships are so clean.
They
They're
really
always
are.
cleaning.
Yeah. Well,
And we
yeah.
actually did that kind of pre-COVID. It was just, you know,
But since then, it's taken on a whole new
it
meaning.
has. It
yeah,
has.
a whole
yes.
different.
Yes.
Everybody is clean, 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 clean. I get an awful lot of that. Well, you sure it's okay? Yes, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned this too because we did take a cruise prior to the pandemic, and there was hand sanitizer everywhere. And when you entered the dining room, there was a cute little gal there with a big bottle of sanitizer, and she'd just look at you and go, "Washy, washy."
I know, our washy girl. She's amazing. They have them on us. So now we've actually put sinks. I mean, where do you walk in a restaurant here in Chicago and there's a sink for you to wash your hands before you go
There
sit down?
isn't.
So now not only is it hand sanitizer, we have put sinks in all, not the main dining room, but sinks into the Windjammer, our buffet, and so on to just wash your hands. And that's the way we should be anyway.
Well, we should.
We should wash our
Yes,
hands.
a lot.
Washy, washy.
I like that.
It was-
Washy, washy.
It was so cute. She was so cute. You just had to do it, you know, because okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we have some good times coming up then, and I think you shouldn't hesitate if you were fearful before. I think things are straightening up, and maybe you could talk to Kathy about that, and if she can't answer your questions, then she
I'll
can
go
get
to
a hold of
Katie.
Yes,
Katie.
yes.
and-
I'll go to Katie.
Katie's
I'm
got
right
the
here. I'm
answers.
local. Always here to help.
Always
Yeah.
here to help, and you can plan a quick destination, you know, coming up soon, like in September. Maybe you can jump on that ship and have a fun time. or plan ahead, and that's always fun too, to plan ahead and think, I'd
Yes.
like to go somewhere, in the later months, and talk to Kathy about that. And
Please.
the world is open to you, so
is.
you can go lots and lots of places and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
Kathy, you want to tell people your phone number and your address?
Sure. I'm at Class Act Travel. It's 6946 West 111th Street. We're in the corner of 111th and Worth Avenue. The phone number is 708-448-6560. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you need an evening or a Saturday, just call and we'll set it up for you. It's not a problem. We're working on getting Saturdays in there yet. Just haven't quite got to that point yet, but we're getting there.
We will.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
get there.
at
We'll
some
get there. So just give us a holler and we'll send you on one of her cruises.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Your ships, Katie.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Katie.
Thank you for
It's-
having me.
Appreciate you coming
Love
in.
being here.
And we will see you next time on the Travel Show, where we will find another fabulous destination for you to plan to go to. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye-bye.